Hey everybody, Scroft here. Welcome back to Farming Simulator 22. We're back on our Let's Farm series. Not many left at all now. Got a couple of them left. But we're going to go out with a bang, I said in the last episode. But before that, we're going to be doing some maize silage. Now, I do love doing maize silage. It's a bit of a hit and miss when it comes to doing it single player. I think it is really good in multiplayer. Like when you're doing it with friends and stuff like that, it's definitely set for that. But we haven't got that luxury, but we have got, being a PC player myself, we have got some AI stuff that we can do, some mods that are kind of like must-have mods, courseplay, auto drive, all that good stuff. And we're going to try, we're going to try our very best to do the actual forage harvester driving, and the rest is going to be automated, including, fingers crossed, I know I've got the mod activated, but sometimes I found with the mod Bunker Silo Worker, it's a bit of a hit and miss. But hopefully we're even going to get the compacting done, so at the end, or close to the end, it should be very, close to the end, it will be close to being compacted, if that makes sense. I think I made sense there. If not, you know what I'm on about. It just makes it a lot easier, because if you do it yourself, by the time you've done the forage harvesting work and you've got all the maize in, put it into the bunker, you then have to compact it all, and it takes forever, especially if you've got a lot. Now, we're not going to have loads. We're not. We're only doing one field. So we've got a big bunker. It's probably not going to fill it up at all. We'll try and make it full lengthwise, but the depth of the actual bunker is not going to be full. Oh, the height, basically, is not going to be full. So, yeah, we'll just do our best. But let's start off, get through it. I'll talk about some of the equipment I've leased out. Going with the John Deere 9900i forage harvester. Never actually used this one. I've always used a Clask just because it's the most common one that I see in the UK. Kind of like a traditional one. But I thought, when we're using a John Deere, why not just annoy George completely and just go with full John Deere's? So we've gone with two 6250Rs, and they're all kitted out, two Bailey trailers on the back of them, and obviously good capacity. It's got a decent capacity on that as well. But I've tried to do it so it's not just going to be massive, and then we don't have to do too many trips. I think it's going to hold about, I think it's like 27,000. Which, in silage terms, is not much at all. Let's just have a look at that, because, 27,000 really. So that's not much in silage terms, and I actually think that's quite small for that size trailer. But it's going to suit me, because it means that we're actually going to make this look pretty good, hopefully, fingers crossed. Now, I'm not going to do a montage. Probably will do a time-lapse. It'll be brilliant if we can do a montage, but if I do a montage, I'm going to have to set courseplay in with that, and I want to get in that and do the forage harvesting. Now, I will be honest, I'm not 100% confident on this because it can cause problems. But we're going to give it a go. So I think the first thing we need to do is drive over to the field, get the boundary of the field mapped out with auto drive, and then the course coming into the field. And we need to do that with the carter. That's the one going to be doing the trip. So it should be interesting to try this out. I'm hoping, but I'm hoping at the end, whilst I'm editing this, I'm going to be sitting there going, yeah, it worked really well, honest. But I do like doing maize silage. It's just, it can be, like I said, it's a miss. Now I'm going to make my life really easy on this. I'm going to remove trees out. I'm going to just remove them out, delete them out. We're going to make an edge that we can travel around. So we're going to get rid of these trees. We're going to be an environmentalist's nightmare. Just deleting trees out for the fun of it. That one, we'll keep that one in. That's not too bad. But we don't need that there. And I'm also going to turn crop destruction off now, because I can see it being inevitable that we're going to be driving over things. And we're having fun. We're having fun in this one. We're not setting ourselves crazy things where we have to follow. We're doing this for a bit of fun. And, fingers crossed it works. If we see any more trees on that side, we'll have to delete them out. But that's going to be a bit more difficult because there's a lot more of them. But anyway, let's get this going. We've opened up auto drive, which you can see here. Let me see if I can just maximize this size, because there is a way to do that, and then you guys can probably see it a little bit better. GUI scale, let's go with 200, because that's going to look pretty big then. Yeah, so it's much easier on your eyes, especially if you're watching on a phone. You're probably just really happy right now for that. So we've put editing mode back on. We're going to start recording. We're just going to do a single path here. And we could do double way, but I want them to kind of flow. Thinking about it. Do you know what? I'll do it double way, because then where they come off, they can actually turn. They can sort that out. So let's start that again. In fact, what we could do, just to show you, with us having that there, all you need to do is just click back, and as soon as it goes blue, you know it's two-way. So it means they can travel either way. It doesn't matter. So to do that, you set it going. I have to right-click instead of left-click. So now you can see it's in purple. It's showing that it's two-way. I think I've got one singular one there, haven't I, where it's initially gone. I have got one singular one there, so let's sort that out. Ooh. There we go. So now it should all be two-way, which it is. And also, to make it easy, I'm going to put it above tractor, turn it back on editing mode. We will get there, I promise you. We will get there. There you go, it's still working. Right, so now you can see it clearly, and we can do a boundary of this field. And it's just a way to show anyone that's not used auto drive and show you like the whole setup to it, because it's a long-winded process in a way, especially if you're doing quite a few fields. But with us doing just the one, it shouldn't be too bad. But we're trying to just do the boundary of the field, because what we want is the carter, when it comes off, it's got a full load of chaff or maize silage that's not been fermented. Yeah, when it's got that in the tractor, we want it to be able to just feed onto some path so it can then, you know, connect back onto the route that we set up and go to the bunker. So for it to do that, it needs to have the option in the first place. Now that's going to be a type 1. I might just jump out quickly and delete that tree off. There we go. That looks a bit better. Can even delete that one off. I mean, ideally, I'd just have done this before and prepped, but I just want to show you exactly what I'm doing. Down to the smallest detail. That one as well is annoying me. There was a few before it, but I've let them slide, but that's it now. They're like, I've had too many, and I'm like, nope, that's enough now. There's too many protruding out. There's one over there as well. I'd say that's the only one, and then I'm quite content with the rest of it. Weirdly being a perfectionist right now when it's not needed, but you know what I'm saying. It's got to be done. Right, that should do. Not perfect, but it'll do. Let's get back into the tractor and carry on now. It should have disconnected from that kind of point, so now what it wants me to do is obviously start again. So right-click onto the record button, which will mean we're doing the two-way routes. And then we've got to try and make a point where it's going to connect back onto the route going from the bunker and then back to the field. So what we first want to do is just complete the loop. Just to make life easy, we're going to complete the loop. And then I'm going to do it manually. Yeah, I'm going to do it manually without driving. So let's complete that like that. And then what we want is we want it to be like two-way from either direction going to the point. So if I say, for example, that's the route I'm going to go back to the field. So we want to put a point down there. Now to do that, all I had to do was press left control, and left click on the mouse button. So we know that we're going to want, that's to place down a point. So just one of them little waypoints. So what we want to do is kind of think, right, if we want to go that way and then back this direction, go in that direction, or we want to go up there, so, and then back. So basically either side, we can go either clockwise or anti-clockwise. And to do that, we're just going to drop down points and manually put this in. And then all we need to do is kind of reverse that by just clicking on them again. And then at least it's two-way. So they've got an option there coming in. They can either go clockwise or anti-clockwise, basically. So if I put that there, get some paths going up that way, and probably connect it to that. And then go backwards again. Bob's your uncle. And this one to that. There we go. So now what we've got is a route which we can technically do two-way on, because no, I won't actually. I'll separate it because we can try and stick to the left-hand side. So if there's a carter, the second carter, for example, coming up, we don't want them to meet, do we? So if we do it two-way, we can just keep a distance, knowing that that's going to probably be something we need to keep in mind. But as soon as you get to that point, you know, it'd be nice for them to wait. So maybe what I'll do is, because the way that auto drive works is quite clever, if it senses another, you know, tractor, for example, is on this route, it will wait at a point before it. So if I put like a little waypoint in here, that kind of like just a little pullover in there, it'll wait at that spot, knowing that that's the direction coming in. And then, for example, when the obviously the tractor gets out of its way, it'll then carry on. So we should keep that in mind. So what I'll do now is I'll put a few more points in, but I'll do it manually, knowing that I want to keep to this side. So like that. And then on this side, let's say we're here and we've just pulled in a little bit like that. So there is there's space for him to move around. And you can see the change in direction over there as well. So not too bad. I think that works pretty well. It should hopefully wait in this section. I mean, you'd hope so. It might wait around here, and then it kind of beats it kind of beats that anyway, unless we maybe drag it down here, just so there's that separation. But we'll find out. And I know I'm playing on a map that's kind of set in France, I think, but we're not going to worry about that. We're doing it on the left-hand side because that is what I'm used to. So now we're going to drive it. We're not going to place points down anymore by holding left control and left mouse clicks. We are going to just drive our way through, but we're going to try and be a bit clever about this. Like I said, we're going to stick to the left-hand side whilst driving in, and then I'm going to stick to the right-hand side coming back through. Now, we are going to have a crossover point there, because what I'm going to do to make it a little bit easier, I'm going to have it in a loop when it comes back out. But we have to also do the reversing on this, because it's going to drop off. So what we want to do is try and line up right in the center, probably about there. Always give yourself extra, because it will use its brain and basically go, don't need this much, but now I'm on point and level, I'm okay. So you'll notice that it probably won't go to the end of that, but it's better to give it more than it needs, because it won't use it anyway. But if it hasn't got enough, then you're going to have a bit of a nightmare turning point. Now, whilst you're reversing as well, it goes to the end of like the trailer that you're with. So if you're not hauling anything, it'll be the back end of the tractor. Because I'm hauling a trailer, you can see the points are up to there. Now, I want to just push it right to the back end. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just move this last one, just to be a bit more precise to there. Now what we're going to do is just drive forward out, and you'll see that it'll go to green automatically from that rear point, and then we're going to go this way. And we will come back and stick in a waypoint over there so it knows that that is where it's going to be tipping. Now, this is the point that I said we'll have a crossover. Hopefully they won't meet at any point. Fingers crossed. We'll just cut through there as well, because that separates them off. And then all we need to do really over here is just align this back up. But what I will do, just because it kind of makes more sense, doesn't it, to just move that over. We're already technically going in that direction anyway. And we turn that off, press this, press that, job's a good one. So that's technically our route completed now. We've got a way back, we've got a way to the field from the bunker and a way back to it. We've got a nice path around the bunker so that when it's carting and it needs that call from the harvester, it's got that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a waypoint in here, calling it field 4 wait. Now, this would work with a harvester as well if you just cart in grain or something like that, but we're obviously doing carting when it comes to forage harvesting. So yeah, so field 4 wait, and then I know that's the wait point, and that works perfectly fine for me. So we just have to link that one up with the forage harvester, and I'll show you how to do that in a second. It's turned into a real good tutorial, and I actually really enjoy tutorials, and I haven't done many because I did them at the start of FS22 and then stopped doing them. But I really did enjoy doing it because, yeah, I felt like it was rewarding to help people and then see the comments. So I enjoyed doing it. So I'm going to be doing stuff like that again in FS25. That is a certainty. So our problem here is what we need to do really is we need to get that red line that pointing to this point. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a bit of maneuvering so it, as you can see, it does it. And then we're going to put a point here, which is going to be called bunker tip. And then I'm going to move it back again. So probably about there. And we can also space that a little bit better as well. And there we go. We're pretty much done. That's dead center as well, so I'm happy about that. So now the carters technically are going to be happy working, and we just need to set that guy going compacting, and there should be a way to do it as well where he kind of automatically just shifts. He shifts out the way in the bunker when we're tipping in, but we'll find out. So what we need to do now with this, we may as well set these going, is we're going to put it on this one here, which is called we need to put it on that one, which is called unload combine. This is the destination that it's picking up from, so we're going to go fill for weight. This one is where it's tipping to, so we want bunker tip. We can also take that off now because we don't need to worry about that. What I will do though is change the cornering. Oh, that's not the right one. We want to go to the tractor. I will change the cornering speed down to about 60, should be fine. It just means it's more precise on the corner. They do tend to fly through, which is never good. And then we're going to tell it to go. It says, as you can see in red there, no harvester with the same target found, which is normal. At this point anyway, we won't want to see that as we were going. And then from about here, we want to do the exact same. So unload combine, which is this one, picking up from field 4, we're tipping into bunker tip. And if we go to this as well, because it's set for each individual vehicle, we've got to do this again. So we're going to go down 60% and apply, and off you go, my mate. Right, so that's 2 workers ready to rock and roll with that. I'll set that going when the first tips happened, and we might just have to wait it out. So, right, so let's drive up the forage harvester up to the field, and we can try and start off. I'd say you might get a bit of lag at times just because there is a bit of AI going on, a bit of calculations, as you can see. So we have to keep that in mind. You will probably get a little bit of lag from time to time. But we'll wait for the first track to hit its weight point. And then what we're going to do here, we're going to leave it on drive. It doesn't matter about anything in auto drive over here, but we want to make sure we put it on field 4 weight. So what this is doing is it's waiting for the vehicle. I think they've actually gone that way round, which is going to be a pain because the pipe... they're going to have to turn around. It's that simple. It really is that simple. Yeah. I'm just trying to think this through now, because I guess they naturally wanted to go the other way around, so we want them to go clockwise, not anti-clockwise. Right, so what we're going to do now is just look at a few settings. So if we go to this one here, now that we're in some kind of combine, this would work for a combine harvester or a forage harvester. We're going to go into there, and we're going to call the pre-call level. It's 60 is, I'd say, fine, but I'm going to call it 0. Now, they might think, what for? Well, technically, this forage harvester is only going to work when the pipe's out. So I'm just going to call the pre-call level to just put it down to 10%. We don't need to worry about that right now. Active unloading, though, that's the one we want, which is unload harvesters whilst driving, because the forage harvester will not work whilst it's static. That's just not how it works. We just need to make sure we have that set to on. We can turn this off, and what we can do now is if we just start from about here, he's probably going to drive through the field, right? It's just how it is. I think what we should probably do as well is just go to the settings on this and just see what it's set to when it comes to tipping. So envelope fill level, we want it just to get to about 99 before it goes and leaves. We don't want it to move off at 85. No point in that. We don't want it to avoid the fruit. What's the point? At the end of the day, it just makes it easy for it. Right now, we turn crop destruction off. Ideally, if you want to be realistic, you turn that to on. Can it park in the field? Yeah, if it wants to. And automatic refueling and everything like that, which is fine. And then same settings over here. So we want that to be at 99. And avoid fruit, no, and apply. And we can turn the auto drive off and go from here. Now, I've gone with a 4-meter one. And that is the smallest one. I could have gone for 9, but I didn't. I just thought, no, we'll make this last. Now, you can see that they started moving, and that's because the pipe comes out. That's the way to get it to call. That's how it works. So we just need this guy to come up beside us. And when it is, we can just start moving. But we're going to wait for a second just to see how long it's going to take him. And we've also got a bit of GPS. Now, he has moved on. I think sometimes it's better to just sit and wait. As you can see that he's I thought he was going to hit me. So it has noticed him. And as soon as he gets on this side, we can rock and roll. There we go. So hopefully now he'll move with me. There you go. There's the joys of it. I don't know what it's doing at all. I don't think it knows as well. Whoop, whoop. Come on, bro. No faffing today, please. There you go. There we go. See, he got there in the end, and he'll stick now to this path. Now, we're going to just do some up and downs. We could turn, and it obviously is more difficult whilst you're doing the turns. But we're not going to do that. We're going to turn and then go back down. Ideally, we should have started at the end, but we didn't as we were going through. But you can see that we're doing all right. We're doing all right. I'm happy with it. So if we just start turning now, we want him to adjust to that. And he's probably going to be driving because automatically he will go to the left. But we're just going to wait and see what he does. Hopefully he goes to the right side. If he does, just shows how clever it is, apart from the fact it nudged me. But no, I mean, I'm happy with that. Yeah, I got a little dent, but, you know, don't really harm a John Deere too much. So I'm happy with it. I'm happy with it. We're doing all right. I could stick GPS on here, see if that works for me a little bit better. Let's try this out. There we go. So now it'll keep me on track, and I can just sit and do a bit of karting. I'm not sure why he stopped. Maybe he's trying to avoid the crop. Maybe, potentially. I mean, what we could do is kind of cut over here and finish this path off. But the problem with that is that dude over there is going to get in the way, which is a challenge. So let's see what happens. You know, Auto Drive's been out a while now, and as you can tell, he didn't like that at all. But it is stuck to you like glue. I'm moving backwards and it's also moving backwards, so it can work really well. So what I'll do, just to make its life easy, it's obviously not happy. We're going to turn, see if it turns it off quickly. Then it did. I'm going to go up here. I'm going to make a big swing around and come back on herself and just complete that section off. But look how close he gets to you. He's so greedy. But I like the fact that it's gone automatically to that side. It's like it knows where it needs to be. Let's just set that as the path now, so we know we're not going to miss anything. Now when this is full, that next one there will come out and he'll start going to tip, which again is, you know, perfect. It's a shame that I've parked him so close to the field because he's stopping me from doing that stretch, but we're going to just go on to the second pass now. But I'm quite happy with this. I think it's working all right. If we go over here, see what he does with me reversing and turning, it might make him a little bit confused, but it's all a challenge. Now this is why I love Auto Drive for this reason, because it will not only just stick by you now, because you've got mods like Follow Me that can do this, but what it can't do is it can't go and drop it into a bunker, and that's why Auto Drive is an unbelievable thing. Now we talked about FS25 quite a bit. You've noticed he doesn't want to go through that crop, which I can understand why. That is very clever. Like I absolutely love that. That's really clever, man. He's drove around that crop on his own. How cool is that? But yeah, we spoke about FS25 quite a bit. We've got this AI worker system. We've got the GPS, and it looks really good. It really does look quite good. I've seen a lot of people that were lucky enough to go to this content creator influencer event. I will talk about that in a second, because I did get offered to go that I just was unable to go, which is, I was really, you know, gutted about that. But I have a job outside of Farm Sim, and I can only get a certain amount of time off. But yeah, we'll talk about that in a second. But going back to the actual GPS that's being included in the base game, one thing we do know is we're not going to get this. This is how it should be, in my opinion. This is brilliant. This is where the standard is set. And if you combine that with courseplay, I can just sit in the field and watch. You know, I don't need to do much else. I can just sit and watch. You can even use courseplay for this, and that worker then, you know, will do the karting. The worker in here will go and do all the forage harvesting. And that's why it's brilliant. And if you haven't used it before, I know this is a bit of a crash course. I have done a series near the start of FS22 that was all about, I don't know where he's going now. Just been raving about him. Look, just having a detour. But no, I did do a series, an auto drive and courseplay tutorial series. I'll do the same again. I'll do the same again in FS25 if it comes out for that. I expect auto drive should come back, but I'm not sure about courseplay. Same as GPS by Wopster, who knows? We'll see what happens with that, but yeah. Now, I should have been using silage additive. That's the one thing I've not done. So I'm quickly just going to go and grab some silage additive and get that in, because that is a waste. Right, there we go. I've used the Fent. Look at that. That's not very good, is it? I mean, the physics. It grabs. Well, it grabs outside the pallet, so yeah. That's not what we want. But I should have been using silage additive because it helps get you more yield in game, but it's actually a real product that farmers use in forage harvesters. And what it actually does for a forage harvester and a real life farmer is it improves the compaction. So imagine it being like maybe like a glue in a way. It's not exactly that, but you could imagine it like a bit of a glue that goes into a bunker, and then it helps with compaction and the fermenting process. Yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. Oh, where are you going? Don't know where he's going, but he's been very impatient. So we're going to fill up. There we go. Well, he's faffing about. He might drive into us, but, you know, he's waited that long. You know, he's nearly full as well, so I can understand his frustration. Right, there we go. And if he moves out the way, we can get back on track. That should be fine there. There you go. Pallet flinged off and everything. Right, let's get back onto our GPS and yeah, let's carry on with it. I was really impressed though that it saw that crop over there, and even though I've said avoid crop, you know, he was quite fine about that. Not sure what he's doing now. Come on, you can do it. Is he at 99%? Is that what it is? So if I put the pipe in, and then let's just see what he's doing. We'll move out of his way. And he's on the two-way track, so I don't actually know what he's doing there. He's going the other direction. This one should come out now. If that guy's at 99%, which is I think what's happened. Yeah, he's full. So now we need the other guy to wake up, which is just done. Perfect timing. We will follow that guy in a second. We will, you know, keep an eye on him when he gets close to the bunker. We want to see how he performs with that. But yeah, I was impressed that it moved around that. And you can tell that I told it to, you know, don't worry about avoiding crop. And he's just drove through it multiple times then, and the other one did. But that section, he was like, no, I've got to avoid this. I don't know why, but he did. And I'm happy about it because it looked pretty cool. But we're getting through it. It's a nice straight field. You know, it's easy enough. Right, so I'm going to move forward here because I envisioned there being an issue. We were technically blocking the way, and the carter didn't want to stop. So I'm just going to get in position, and then I think we might use that as an opportunity just to follow. I also might check my detect width on the GPS because, yeah, I think it wasn't spot on there. Right, we'll wait for him to do that. I think he might have hit a tree. We'll just turn this off for a second, get rid of that tree for him. Oh, no, he didn't hit the tree. I think because I've turned it off, maybe he's happy to go wait back at that point, which is fine for a second. We're going to follow this guy, and you can see the auto drive is doing its thing. Might be able to jump on because of I think he's brilliant mod. There we go. The beauty of the mod by Timmy, which is sticky feet. It allows me to stick to a moving vehicle, which is super cool. So there we go. We've got a trailer full of fresh maize that's going to be dropped off. We will jump off now, and we'll see him reverse back in. He should be driving out, or she, is it a she? Yeah, it is. So she should be driving straight out to the left, up that track, and then back to the field. So let's see how this works. Nicely done there, right to the back of the bunker. Hopefully it'll keep moving forward. A lot of fresh maize there. I mean, I think they usually move forward as and when it kind of gets full. So, you know, sometimes when you tip and you have to move forward, you can't tip anymore. Normally that's how it works. Now, we'll wait until the actual trailer drops down. Yeah, you can see that he's gone back to the wait point as well. But we'll just wait here. Go in. Now, I'm hoping this will work. Fingers crossed it will. Well, it didn't like that. So normally that should just be as straightforward as compacting this stuff now. But yeah, it doesn't see that as a bunker for some reason. So unfortunately, we're going to have to do the compacting, which isn't good. Bit of a pain. And we can see if I can create a job. Courseplay silo work, yeah. Oh, we got this one. So we could technically target position or silo position. Is that direction into the silo forward, waiting for the unloader at part position, which stop at 99. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Where is the part position? Is that target position? Maybe that. And then we can put the silo position about there. Start job. Target is unreachable. Okay. Okie doke. Okie doke. Right, let's see if you'll go here then. We can mark it here. This is, I don't usually use courseplay when it comes to the bunker work. Now, I know it's got the feature, as you can see, so courseplay, silo work. But, yeah, I don't usually use this. Now, there we go. Right. I don't know where they're going. They're going somewhere. Where are you going? Where's he going? What? I have no idea. Like, no idea. I feel like it's given up on me. What was that? That was awful. Absolutely awful. That's why I would prefer the Bunker Silo mod. It's the Bunker Silo Worker mod, because you pretty much just set it going. It's a lot easier, and we end up not ended up faffing about. But we'll try it differently. We'll try it. Yeah, let's see if we can do this again. Bloody thing. I mean, I'm sure we should face it towards the silo, I imagine, and then we'll just say you can wait in the silo. The problem is, if I tell it to wait in the silo, it's going to get in the way. Yeah, target is unreachable. So I think the best thing to do with this is just do it ourselves, unfortunately. Which is a shame, it really is, but can't do much about that. Yeah, it's not as good as the Bunker Silo Worker mod by a country stretch. I mean, courseplay is great for other things. It really is, but for this, it's not very good at all, unfortunately. We need to let him go past so we can get back to the wait point. But I think what I'll do now is I'll stick a time lapse on of me working through this. It's hopefully going to work pretty well. We know that the route's working fine. It's just that compacting that's a bit of a shame, because it'd be doing it right now and it just saves a lot of time. But we'll get it done. There's not going to be loads anyway. Right, there we go. We've got 248,794 litres. That's pretty much what we're packing in this bunker. Maize does give off quite a bit. It didn't work too bad as well. It wasn't perfect. It never is. You know, it's not faultless or anything, but it does work. It does work quite well. It's just a bit of a faff to get it, properly going. But as soon as you do, you can get through it. It's just you'll get a few problems along the route, which you obviously saw. I did decide as well that I should have done it just single kind of route round the field. They were meeting up. It was just like bad timing. And even though at some points they will meet up and then kind of like work it out for themselves, there is times like that where it's just, no, it's not going to work. A bit like this now. It's not happy. But we should still get a bit of compaction from them. It's all about weight when it comes to compaction. It's a shame we're doing this, but it shouldn't take long. 11%. I'll fly through it, but yeah. When we can get the bunker silo worker mod actually working, which it works a treat on things like Court Farm at the moment, so I'm not sure what's causing that issue. It's got to be something to do with maybe the bunker or I don't know. I'm just guessing at this point, but it is a cracking mod because you can just set it going, and as soon as it detects like someone coming to tip, it just stops where it is. So if you plan it up right, you can set the tip point to like the left-hand side, for example, and then set the compactor to the opposite side. I mean, if you got a big enough bunker as well, and you can fit like 3 in, then you could have the middle where the tip point is, and then the left and the right, you could have 2 people compacting. It's a really good mod. Just it isn't working for us, unfortunately, today. But that happens with so many mods that have come out for FS22. I am going to miss FS22 in a way, doing Let's Plays, because it has been a good game. I've enjoyed it. I think I enjoyed FS19 probably a little bit more. I feel like with FS19, even though my channel's done a lot better for 22, and, you know, I've enjoyed the Farmhand, I think, yeah, I'd say the Farmhand's made it for me with FS22, but the game itself, I just loved Seasons, the old Seasons, and I miss it. I really do. I think it's ruined a good chunk of the game for me when it comes to Seasons. And it's only small things. It's just, it was made for realistic players, and that's what I think we miss out on nowadays. We miss out on an option just to someone that just wants that chance to play a bit more realistic. And it's mods that save you. It's mods like Precision Farming and mods that, you know, add to the realism that make it still a good game. I do think Giants build the perfect platform for modders to go out there and, you know, crack on. But the game wouldn't be the game without modders. Let's be honest. Let's just call it what it is, because there's no point in beating around the bush with that. Without modders, the game isn't sustainable. It really isn't. So I appreciate the work they do, and I'm hoping for the same in FS25. I know we've got a lot of passionate modders that just want to make mods, and they've probably already got plans for the next game. But yeah, we'll wait and see. It's not going to be long now. I did find out today as well when I'll get early access. And even though I'm under an embargo for all that stuff, I just know, at least I can tell you that I have had a communication and know when I'm going to get early access. So yeah, I can plan out now kind of like what I'm going to do and what days. I think I'm just going to play the game at first, honestly. I don't think I really need to do anything too special. I might try and do a couple of videos that I did at FS22 when that launched. They did really well on the channel. I think one of them was my most viewed video, so I might do a repeat of that because I liked it. I like testing out things and trying out things, so I might go down that path again just for a bit of fun. But I think, you know, the first couple of days especially, I'm just going to play the game. I'm just going to play the game, do a Let's Play, Let's Farm series, whatever you want to call it, and I'm going to do it probably on the US map, maybe even do a second one, because I've got some time off from work. I'm fully just off. So I might just do 2 videos a day for everybody. Do like one video on maybe Hutan Pantai, and then another one on the US map. We'll just play, experience it, see all the things that's been touted to us as new, have a bit of an honest opinion on it all, and yeah, I think that's probably the best shout. And then I'll do some unique videos that I did at the start of FS22, and hopefully that'll be a bit of a laugh as well, and I enjoy it as well, trying to figure out things. I think one of them was like, what crop makes the most money? And even though you can go into the Excel spreadsheet and it tells you everything, there's no fun in that. So we're going to go and do it. We're going to try and plant every crop, do a bit of an experiment, and it's just a bit of fun. It is. And do it a little bit better this time. Well, I know I did 2 videos last time on that. I remember the first time, I was like, what crop makes the most money? But I didn't take into account like seeds and stuff like that, and time in the fields. So I tried the second time to do all that, taking everything into account, apart from fuel, because fuel's too much of a variable. Because you might be driving a 135, for example, and it's going to take you a lot longer than that, and you're going to use maybe less fuel than what you would if you're in a massive, I don't know, like this 8S, for example. It's going to consume more fuel. So I thought that was too much of a variable, but seeds is pretty much predictable, and time in the field is pretty much predictable because it will relate to what I've done. So, if I've done, say I've used an 8-meter seeder or something like a 6-meter seeder, that it's going to take this long using an 8-meter seeder, so you can work it out. If you're using a small seeder, it's going to take a little bit longer. So I think that's probably not a bad idea. I can do the amount of time it takes, the amount of costs in fertilizer, herbicide, seeds and all that. But fuel, it depends on what tractor you're using, I guess, and it'd be a bit of a strange one to kind of put into that. But yeah, I'm going to do it. I feel like it's going to be a bit of fun. I even made a load of spreadsheets last year for that, and I enjoyed it. It's quite addictive to get really into doing spreadsheets for things like this. So I might have a go at that again. It was good fun. So yeah, keep an eye out on the channel for that, for FS25. And he is hoping, fingers crossed, that video does just as well as it did for me in FS22. I think I've had 500,000 views on that video, which is insane. It's mental. Hopefully everyone learned something from it, or I didn't just talk about faffing about. Which, if you know the channel and you know me, I speak a lot about faffing about, let's be honest. But we're getting through it. Look, we're halfway there, 52%. Time flies when you're just having a chat. I didn't mention about FS25 and the event that I got offered to go, which was a shame. It really was, but yeah, because I got some time off from work for FS25 launch, kind of exhausted and asked enough favours from my place of work, and with me only doing like 4 to 3 days. At the moment, it's been 4 days a week instead of 5, but after that, it's going to be around 3 after I've had 2 weeks off as well, so that really helps. But I've had to do a lot of work beforehand to get to that point. I just didn't feel right. It didn't feel right, and it wasn't fair on my employer to ask for more time off. I think Giants needed to give me a little bit more notice with that one. But to be honest, they probably can't. At the end of the day, they're a business and they got their own marketing team. But what I will say is, part of their community team, a guy called Benny. He was really nice, and yeah, they offered me to go out to a location to play FS25 early, pay for my flights and accommodation, which was amazing. But no, I just couldn't get the amount of time off that I needed, and I think they were offering originally, which we tried to work out. Basically, we tried to work it out as if I'd just go for 1 day, and 1 night, which is I think the most common thing. But because of the flights and everything, it just didn't work out a little bit longer than that. So I just had to say I'm going to have to miss out this time, which was such a shame, because I've seen all the content from Mr. Sealy P, FSG, DJ, Virtual Farmer, many more people that went. And yeah, I would have loved to experience that, but you've got to do what you can do, and we can't take the mick, can we? But yeah, I'm excited for FS25. I feel like it's overdue now for me. I've played thousands and thousands of hours on FS22, and the same on FS19. I'm just excited to try something a bit new, something a little bit different, new maps that come out with it, and whatever else, and the higher details, and the better graphics, and hopefully the better physics. Hopefully, anyway. I have seen some of the footage, and I have to say that GPS, they've modified it, which they did say when I went to FarmCon and the presentations happened. I've mentioned this previously if you've watched the channel and kept up to date with some of the videos. Whoever was doing the presentation, so whoever worked at Giants, came up to the content creator area and answered a few questions, and I think a few people were trying to quiz about the GPS, but they didn't really want to give too much away, which you can understand, because it wasn't, it was still pretty early on, let's say. I know they've got like a finished product pretty close as well at the same time, but it was obviously now we're closer. So we were asking questions like, can you control the headlands? How many you want to do? Can you tell what direction you want to do? And at the time it wasn't. It was just set up like that. That's it. You've got one headland. If it's set up 2 headlands, that's it. But they did mention that they are going to work on adding it in, and I thought they were implying that maybe it could be like a future, patch or something, improvement. But no, it's been done. It's literally in the game, ready to go. And I have to say, the worker and the kind of courseplay equivalent looks really good. The GPS I'm still 50-50 on because I need to try it out, but it does look better. I do like the idea that you can just be in game, you don't have to faff about, set it all up. You just press a button, and if you just attach to the nearest line, and if that's an up and down stretch or a headland, then at least it's all there for you. So I do like it. I think they've improved on what they initially showed. I think they just took the feedback, which is a great thing. You've got to tip your cap, if you're wearing one, to Giants, that they do take feedback. I've seen a lot of people criticise the fact that they've put like these twisters in. But the one thing I learned, which was new to me, is it was one of the biggest requests as players to Giants that they start putting in like natural disasters. So they've put something in like that, and yeah, it's not, something you're going to see like you did on, I think it was a Just Cause game. Remember a game, Just Cause 4, I think it could have been potentially, or 3, I think probably 4. And it had like big twisters and really detailed, and if you got there, your vehicle was going crazy. And in FS, it's a farming game, so it's not going to be like that, is it? It's probably going to do crop damage and like it does, and not going to fling your vehicle around. It's just, if you get in the centre of it, there's not going to be anything there. I'd expect nothing less, to be honest, with a twister. I think a twister in FS itself is a surprise to me. I more am focused on the hail and the snow and things like that, because they are things that impact farms. That's the kind of weather that I'm more related to, and I know twisters do in certain aspects for certain people and certain farmers, but for me it doesn't, and I'm more interested in how the hail does. Now, I have got an FS25 video update coming out on Friday, which I'm going to start recording tomorrow, but I've been sent quite a lot of snippet things along the way, and a lot of content creators have already done stuff on it. But my plan was to just do an update video on a Friday, condense it all, because my focus is you guys. I don't want to do loads of little videos. I'd rather do one big informative one that gives you the full update for the week, because you guys as the viewers of my channel are my focus. I'm not in a race. I don't want to be the first to get something out. That's not what I'm doing. I feel like I've built a viewership up, and I'm loyal to you guys. So my plan is to just do an update video. So in that, I've got a couple of blogs now. I've got the Fact Sheet Fridays that are going to be coming out. I've got, I think 2 blogs. I think there's 2 videos that you've already seen, probably potentially, which is the feature trailer and also the map trailer for Riverbend Spring. And yeah, there's a lot to talk about, but there's some good shots in one of them kind of like trailers that shows the hail bouncing, and it looks really good, like really good. So we'll go through it. I'll try and make it, relatively short, but there is a lot of stuff to go through. Some of the stuff I'm not going to talk too much about. We've already seen it, kind of thing. It's just a little bit more detailed, so we'll kind of skim over that. But there's some stuff that I'm looking forward to showcasing that's potentially still under embargo right now. It'll be about Thursday 6 p.m. when this comes out, so yes, there'll be one thing left under embargo. So by the time the video comes out, 1 o'clock around Friday, it'll all be obviously out of embargo, and I can do and say what I need to at that point. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. There's some great stuff, and yeah, I think it's some of the stuff is definitely needed as well. Like it's some of it is. I'm feeling the hype now. Basically, I'm on the hype train, and I'm ready to disembark and get playing the bloody game. But anyway, I enjoyed that chat about FS25 and everything else, but we've done it. 2.5, I'm going to say 250,000 litres compacted, sheeted up now as well, and you just let it ferment. Now, it is a shame we're not going to be able to use this to feed. You never know, might just do a quick feed at the end. We've got the red beets in there as well. We've got plenty of hay, silage, grass silage on the other side, got whole crop silage bales there, maize silage, which was the plan. But I think definitely in the next episode, we're going to do the sunflowers, get them ready to harvest, and then we'll crack on with that, turn it all into sunflower oil, get that sold. And then I'm thinking on the last one, just want to do a big challenge. Like, big challenge with a load of workers, AI, and myself, and just do something a bit extreme. Might even get Beanie to help me, see if she wants to. But yeah, we'll try something out. But I'm glad we got the maize done. I do enjoy doing that, maize silage and all that. So one thing I'm probably going to be screaming out for on FS25 straight away, Maize Plus, farming agency. But we'll have to wait for that, unfortunately, because it does take some time. And I don't even know if they're going to do Maize Plus. All I keep hearing about is TerraLife. So, you know, they might just focus on TerraLife for FS25 and move away from just kind of like the Maize Plus, which is technically like a lighter version now. Who knows? I've not heard anything. But TerraLife itself probably take a lot of time. So I don't think that's going to be one of the mods we see straight away. Fingers crossed, though. But on that note, I am going to leave the video there. So thank you so much for watching. Really do appreciate it every time. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video. If you have, give it a thumbs up for me because that really does help me out and all the YouTube algorithm stuff. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more videos just like this one on Farming Simulator. See you, everybody.